In this lesson, we'll learn how we can finish the growing of the ornate element's limbs. So here's where we left off, and so we just need to continue on. So let's duplicate our main limb here. Let's show it, and let's draw in our next mask. So we've got essentially two pieces left. We've got this one here, and we've got this one here. So we can actually draw both on this layer. So let's call this top limb. And let's jump to the beginning here, and let's give this our usual stroke, which we'll need to turn off so we can draw. So let's hit the G key, and with our pen, let's begin drawing this out. So we're talking about this limb right here. And I don't really want to go in and animate these leaves, so I'm just going to use the thick stroke effect to get this finished. Okay, so let's check that. And again, we'll probably need to come in and change the timing a little bit. So let's see how this goes. And here, we're at the large brush size, so let's bump that down to 5. And let's take a look at the entire object. It looks like, okay, so our timing is pretty far off on this. We need to wait quite a few seconds before or quite a few frames before we actually start this, because it's beginning drawing up here. All right. And of course, we can extend this out a little bit to make it grow a little slower. All right, so this is looking nice. Okay, so let's get to the end of this and let's do the stroke test. And it looks like we just have a little bit here, so we can actually just come in here. Let's bump this up to 6, and that should get us the rest of the detail that we were missing earlier. Okay, great. We didn't have any overlapping issues with this part. So now we can come in, and if we want to, we can duplicate a new layer or continue drawing on this layer. So just the next mask will need to be right here for this inner one. And again, let's try using the all masks. I'm not sure if it'll really work for this case. Turn the stroke back on. So I've just moved this down a little bit to pull the timing back a little so that it animates in line with the rest of these. All right, so this is going to hit, be complete, and then this is going to start drawing as well. Okay, nice. This timing is actually looking really good. Okay, great. So we were able to integrate both of those on a single layer. And After Effects just tried to give me an out-of-memory error, but sometimes when working with these big files and doing a lot of these kind of effects, we sometimes tax the systems. So we have almost all of our animation done for this ornate layer. If we turn on our main limb, you can see we only have a few more tiny little things to animate. You can see we've got these and these little circles here. So let's actually just animate this on really quick here. So let's go to our main limb here, and let's call this our top U shape. And we're just talking about this layer here, so I'm just going to have it do a simple draw on. So it's just going to go like this. All right. Very, very simple, probably the simplest one we've done so far. Let's copy our stroke onto it, and let's hit U to check the animation. And since this is a very small stroke, we're going to see a little bit of a strange motion from it. Now we want to have it end pretty quickly. And we might need to come in here and move a few points so it doesn't overlap itself. Let's take a look. So I want it to appear right after the original, and then just slowly fill in. All right, great. So let's hit 0 and take a look at this. So now we have all of these limbs growing in really nicely, and all we need to do to finish off of this, or finish this symbol, is to animate the little circles that are on top here. Now there's a lot of different ways we can animate them. I'm going to sort of animate them in an interesting way, having them get shot out of this plant and kind of making an S shape before they sort of settle into the current location. Just having, a little bit of fun with it and creating some interesting motion. So now that we have all of this ready, we can essentially just work on this last layer and call it good to go. So it's been a little bit of a struggle to finish this off, but all we need to do now is animate these dots in. And of course you could use a simple masking trick if you're sort of short up for time. But let's dedicate a lesson to looking at an interesting way of animating these dots in.